Hey, shalom, Baltimore. It's the Isupk coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're all under Commanding General Yohana. 1969, we've been teaching this truth, man. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians are the true Israelites, and of course, our oppressor, is the devil. You know what I mean? Clap it up. We're about to get it on, man. And look, and I know for me here lately, when you go online and you say anything that is opposed to homosexuality or gayness or any kind of sexual deviancy at all, it's a pushback, and it's almost a violent pushback. It's you get threats. You get all kinds of messages, telling you how messed up and confused you are. There's been an agenda for a long while, and the history goes back many years. I believe back to the 60s and 70s. They started bringing out cartoons and different things to get us comfortable with homosexuality. Certain catchphrases and things like that to make you feel guilty. Like people will say you're homophobic. You say anything against homosexuality, you're homophobic. Phobia is a fear. It's a fear. Nobody's afraid of homosexuals. Nobody is afraid of homosexuals, man. This is just one of those catchphrases to shut you down and make you feel guilty about your morality, your character, your stance. So there's been an agenda even before that to effeminize black men. Black masculinity has always been wrong. It's always been called toxic. It's one of the reasons put forth for our so-called criminality in this place. And it's a real shame how degraded our neighborhoods have come and how easily we have fallen into this type of deviancy, man. But the Lord says it defiles everything. And even when you read it out of the Bible, I had a couple of people online tell me that the Bible is not against homosexuality. It is against homosexuality. I've heard people say that King David had a homosexual affair or something, and it boggles my mind for somebody to try to destroy the reputation of a king who was close to the Most High, close to his heart. The Most High loved David, and David even said he loved what the Most High loved. He hate what the Most High hate. David was not a homosexual, man.
Right.
You understand? But whenever anybody has that particular spirit and they want to perform in that sin, they always come up with something in the Bible that they twist and confound to say that, oh no, the Bible is for homosexuality. The Bible is very clear about the way God views homosexuality, the way he views sex, period. A right way to have sex, and there's a wrong way to have sex. And that's painted very clear in the Bible. We gonna start off with something just very clear. Give me Leviticus 18 and 22, brother. If you don't mind. Just to the basics, man. And look, it's very basic. You don't have to try to go into to the Bible to twist and confound when the laws are very basic. They're very basic and very clear on this particular sin. Is extremely clear. Like, you cannot get around it. It's in the so-called Old and the so-called New Testament. It is there. It tells you exactly how the Lord feels about this particular sexual deviancy, because there's a lot of them. You can't have sex with animals. That is a sin. That is against God, man. You cannot do that. You cannot have sex with your close relatives, your mother, your niece. You understand? Your cousin. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to your family reunion trying to go have sex with your cousins, man. How do we know the right way and the wrong way to have sex? Everything would just be sex.
Right.
If it were not for the laws of God in His Bible, we would not know what was right or what was wrong. Molesting a child is wrong. Raping somebody is wrong. We would not know that if it were not for the Bible. You can't pick and choose what laws you want to follow. All right? You got that, brother?
Come on,
go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind.
Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. Meaning, if you're a man, you should not lie down with another man as you would a woman. You should not have sexual relations with another man as you would a woman. This is very clear in this scripture, man. Go ahead.
It is abomination.
It's an abomination, man. Meaning it's foul, it's disgusting, it's nasty. It's something that should never be done. It's something that's abhorrent to God. When as a man, you prostrate yourself for another man. You willingly give up your masculinity, which is a gift that the Most High gave to black men. It can save your life. But you give that up easily for this society. The pleasures and the lust of this society, which only hurts and harms, man. No man can be happy. No man, I'm talking about no man, can be happy with another man subjugating him sexually.
Right.
It doesn't exist. There's no happiness in it. It's only lust. And after the lust has abated, all you have left is guilt. This is why the Most High is very clear on these scriptures, man. And it goes deeper. Was there any more on that one? Matter of fact, go to 22.
23.
Go to 22.
That was 22.
Oh, excuse me, 24. Skip to 24.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things.
Defile ye not yourselves into any of these things, man. Now in Leviticus, it goes all through, bestiality, sex with your mother, your father, all these types of things. It goes through all of these types of laws when it's dealing with who you can have sex with and who you cannot. All right, the Lord is saying, don't defile yourself in any of these things, man. And none of this. Don't feed into the lust and the lies of this society, into something that you know is wrong, that you know is corrupt. Because all I see in this society is young black men who are conflicted, twisted and broken, man. It's broken. Looking for a twisted, vile love that just ain't there. It's a lie. It's an illusion. All right, go ahead, brother.
For in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you.
Hey, look, man. All these other nations of people, man, are defiled in these things. Let us not go and do the things that they do, man. You understand? Let's not be sexual deviants. Let's not defile ourselves this way, man. The spirit that it puts on women, and this on black women in particular, and this spirit, it finds its way into every orifice of life, man. Seriously, I say that to say this. That stud spirit, or you know what I mean, whatever it is, it's a masculine spirit on a woman.
Right.
It's a woman saying, I'm going to take dominion here. Respect me as a man. Give me the same type of respect that you would a man. A man's respect. You know, a man's respect and a woman's respect is a little bit different. The spirit on these women is violent, man. You can go online and see a lot of fighting with this type of stud type of situations, man, where you have women abusing women. You have a lot of women turning to a homosexual lifestyle because they were abused by men. Just to go and get a stud and be abused by the stud.
Right.
Maybe it's who you're choosing as a partner. Maybe it's the man you're choosing as a partner. And if you didn't want a man, why go get a fake man? Or somebody that calls themselves a man or tries to portray themselves as a man. The spirit is very conflicted and confounding. And this is why situations end in such chaos, man. This is why the black community is in such chaos. And the Bible tells you, look, read on.
Verse 25. And the land is defiled.
The what?
And the land is defiled.
The land is defiled. The very property that you're committing these acts of sexual deviancy on is defiled. This is why the black community does not work for black people. It doesn't. The first thing we want to do is get out of the ghetto. Nobody wants to stay in the ghetto. But yet, the ghetto works for every other race. You have Asians over on the other side of the world trying to get in the ghetto. They're trying to get in the ghetto.
Right.
Because the ghetto is prosperous for them. They open businesses, they become wealthy, and they stand right over top of us in our own communities and treat us like second-class citizens.
Right. While
our own communities do not work for us because we defile it and degrade it with the deviancies that come from the nations. This is not our, put that down. Oh, is that my band?
No, this is mine.
These are abominations that come from the nations, man. The Roman Empire was doing this long ago, man. The Greeks, famous for it, man. You know in Maccabees when it said they built a place of exercise? That's the Greeks, man. They would wrestle naked. They would throw the javelin naked. Wrestling was about sexual domination, man. You won when you was able to sexually dominate your partner. They even did warfare with no underwear on, as to when they had a man wounded or down, they could subjugate them sexually. Look, man. These are the vile things of the nations, man. These are the vile things of the nations that we partake in. Just like we partake in gangbanging. In Chicago, gangbanging is outrageous and ridiculous. Where did it come from? It started from Bugsy Siegels and Scarface, right, and the Purple Gang and all of these cats that black people are imitating. We're imitating what they did because they have romanticized that lifestyle in our community as to say that it is something good, just like they do homosexuality, as to say it's something good for us or good for us to do. Take a look at what's going on in Atlanta, man. The spread of AIDS, HIV, is like that of a third world country.
Right.
And then people say, oh, well, they got the medications to solve all that. Who the hell want to take medication for the rest of their life? Who want to take medication for the rest of their life, madam? It's medication to try to suppress something that's destroying your immune system.
Right.
And then it got you all vulnerable to COVID and every goddamn thing else. Just for lust. Just for lust. There's nothing else to it. There's nothing else in it. You know, people call you ignorant when you say stuff like, when you say homosexuality is wrong. They call you ignorant. Like you're uneducated.
Right.
I have 2 degrees. Right. Not uneducated. Oh man, it's crazy. Where we at in the scriptures?
Verse 25.
Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 25. And the land is defiled.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I do visit the iniquities thereof upon it.
Oh man. Lord said he visits the iniquities thereof upon it. Happens all the time. Some guy dressing as a woman, don't tell nobody he's actually a man, and then things get twisted and misconstrued and somebody get hurt, man.
Right.
It's tragic. It's tragedies, man. It's tragedies in our community. Tragedy after tragedy, night after night. some black woman crying, some father missing his child. It's all because we subscribe to these dangerous sexual deviancies, man. We allow our land to be defiled and degraded, and the Lord turns his back on us. Black man, you gotta be strong enough to keep your manhood. You don't allow anybody to take your manhood. Revel in your masculinity. You understand? It's beautiful. Man, look. Take pride in being a man. Celebrate your masculinity, man. Where you at, brother? 26?
25 still.
Okay, go ahead.
And the land itself vomiteth out her inhabitants.
Good night. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments.
Keep the statutes and his judgments, man. What is judgment? What is judgment, man? Judgment is not just somebody telling you something. Judgment is handing down a punishment. And what did he say homosexuality was worthy of? Death. Why is it so final? Why so harsh? Because there's 400 murders a year in Baltimore City. That's why. Because of the mercy of Christ, everybody gets chance after chance after chance. But there is a time when you don't get any more chances.
Right.
And the brothers that keep going out there and keep doing the same things are defiling the land, defiling the community, and the community falls into degradation, murder, and every goddamn thing else. Rape, fornication, molestation, all the sexual deviancies come out. All the demons are strengthened because we sitting here thinking that it's okay to deal with homosexuality. People in church are homosexuals, right? The guy playing the organ, he's gay, right? The usher marching, stepping with what they call it,
Steppers.
Steppers, yeah. Stepping and the marching, and they march down the they're gay. The pianist, he's gay. The pastor's gay, or having a gay relationship. And then gave the first lady HIV, then gave her a venereal disease.
Right.
And the brother's wife, he had sex with on the side, just like Eddie Long. Eddie Long was turning young men into absolute prostitutes. Why would you, as a pastor, do that to young black men? You know, he has the answer for that, right?
Yeah.
He's dead. He's dead. The news story came out 1 month. The next month, he was 103 pounds. The next month, he was gone. He was gone, destroyed. He defiled his church, defiled the community, eventually defiling himself and everybody that he had relations with. And then he was put to death as an abomination. It happened to Eddie Long. The Lord has all kinds of laws against these deviants. You're not supposed to go and have sex with people of other races. You're not supposed to do that.
Right.
Martin Luther King did that. In fact, he started a whole movement of integration so that he could do that. Defiled himself. His blood was on his hands. All right, where you at, brother?
26.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 26. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you.
That means any stranger that sojourneth among you. I mean, any black man that comes into your household, in your community, they ain't supposed to be doing that, man. You know why? Because they'll bring degradation into your household, into your community, into your schools. They'll prey upon your children.
Right.
Because that spirit, that lifestyle of homosexuality is predatory. It is predatory. The thing that makes a gay person the most happy is to turn a person who isn't gay. That is a conquest. That's a conquest. Like if you were a young man and you bumped into a virgin and wouldn't mess with nobody in the community, but you got it. That kind of conquest is predatory, man.
Right.
It's predatory, and what it does is it defiles our children. And once they're defiled, their reputation's destroyed, their morality destroyed, and now they're twisted and broken, they'll go break somebody else. That cycle has to stop. This is why it's so final. That's why the Lord said it's deserving of death. This is why it's so final. Because it ends in death. It always ends in death. That spirit wants to kill you, black man. That lifestyle, that so-called lifestyle that you're living, it wants to kill you, bro. I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to anybody, to any group of people. I'm saying this out of love for my community and my people.
Right.
The Lord is not playing, man. And I wholeheartedly believe in these things. I will not bend and I will not break. But I will tell the truth. And the truth is this. It's right here in the Bible, man. That we think is a magical book of stories that don't mean anything. Because of how your pastor goes through it and explains it. You got to read it yourself and read it as a black man. And then you can understand how the Lord feels about the betrayal of that kind of sexual deviance. The Lord gave you masculinity. He gave you manhood. He gave you a rod, something that swings between your legs. Now I'm going to tell you something to bust your head. That rod is immortality.
Right.
I'm going to go even further than that. I'm going to say this. You sitting up there trying to get your rod cut off. Check this out. It don't make no goddamn difference. Because when you die, you coming back. And you going to come back as a man. With a rod. You going to come back as a man till you get it right as a man. Because that's what the Lord needs you to be. We can go into heaven and hell and life and death in another class. But I tell you this, brother, you cannot escape your masculinity.
Right.
You can't cut it off. You can't leave it behind. It's going to catch you, bro, until you get it right. So why destroy everybody else in the meantime? All right. Give me Leviticus 20 and 13.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lied with womankind, with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
So this is what's called a precept to what we just read.
Right.
So it told you if a man has sex with another man, is deserving of death. Now it's telling you that both the giver and the receiver is worthy of death. So don't go thinking, oh, I'm the man. I'm just having sex. I'm just having sex. I ain't the one that's giving it up. I'm having sex. The giver and the receiver has committed an abomination. Read it from the top, brother.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13.
Go ahead.
If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
Yup.
They shall surely be put to death.
So, this is for them brothers that think, oh, I'm not the woman. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
It's crazy, but it's people that think that.
Lie to most of them.
I'm not the one that's bending over. I'm the man. I'm the one that's I'm subjugating. I'm banging. You're the same.
Right.
You're committing the same sexual deviancy as that brother that's opening up his legs and his behind for you to go in. It's the same exact thing. And that's why this is a precept that goes exactly with Leviticus 18, 24, 25, 26, 27, and all down the line to complete the whole thought of God. Right. The giver and the receiver have defiled themselves and defiled the land. Mathon, people tell you, mind your business. Why you worrying about what I'm doing?
Right.
Who I'm screwing? Why you worrying about it? Because it affects my community. What do you mean why I'm worried about it? The Lord said, did the Lord not say that it degrades the land? Did he not say that? It defiles the land. Let me get it straight. Defiles the land. What was that in 26? Right? It defiles the land, man. It defiles my community when you are being a sexual predator in my community. It defiles it. That's why we got 400 murders in Baltimore today. 25. Excuse me. That was Leviticus 18 and 25 to be exact. It defiles the land when you do these type of sexual deviancies, man. All right. What was we at? 20 and 13? Did we finish 13?
Live, sir.
Go ahead.
Their blood shall be upon them.
Their what?
Their blood shall be upon them.
It's your fault. Why is it your fault? It's your fault in the punishment that you get for your lust, because we're telling you. And it's written. It's written. You know the law. You know that it's wrong. But you went and read something in Kings and said, oh, well, Jonathan and King David must have been having some type of sexual relationship or something. It's preposterous, man. It's preposterous. And it's something that your oppressor told you. So, of course, when you're dealing with his spirit of sexual deviancy, you want to take on his excuses for doing so. Brother, it's foul. When we just read you the scriptures to fully explain to you what God wants. How God wants you to have sex. What he wants you to do and what he wants you not to do. Black man, he wants you to be with a black woman in the bedroom, and nothing in that marriage bed is defiled, man.
Right.
You can have sex with her how you want to. You have sex between her toes. It don't goddamn matter, man. But you got to be with that black woman, man.
Right.
And you got to stay with her. You got to treat her right. You got to protect her. There's rules to this, man. There's rules to this here, man. All right, did you finish 13?
Come, sir.
All right, skip down to 26 for me.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
The Lord say you should be holy unto me. Meaning this, you should be separate unto him. Meaning you should follow everything that he says. You should be separate from the other nations. Because he's already said that the nations are defiled in these things. They're all defiled in sexual deviancy, man. And we see where it takes them. Good night. You can go online and see people having sex with farm animals, man. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You don't even need the Bible to tell you that that's wrong. That's abusive not only to animals, but you defile yourself. But the nations do it. They have sex with trees, yeah. It's completely insane because the lust twists their sense of morality and drives them insane. As black people, we're merely broken. We're broken because of the poverty and the oppression that's been done to us here. And to relieve any of that, we go into any kind of feeling, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's lust, no matter what the hell it is, we go into it. But as we said, this is propaganda. This is an agenda to take the masculinity out of the black community. Why? because the men won't want to protect anymore.
Right.
We'll give it up. We'll give up the black community. It's going that way. Like we trust these other nations of people with everything. With our lives, with our schooling, with our policing. We don't even have any black schools. Ran by, funded by, black alumni, black people. We don't have that, man. We allow our oppressor to run every aspect of our life because we're too weak to do something about it. Our masculinity has been compromised. Our ability to rebel against that which is evil and contrary to our lives. All right, was that it for 26?
Wow.
Oh, go ahead.
For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people.
The Lord severed us from other people, man. That's why we should not be doing what other people do. We should not have progression or all be together, because the Lord created different spirits for different people, man. He is the potter who molds the clay. He molds it how he want to mold it. What spirit he want to give who. Some nation of people have some very vile spirits. Some have creative spirits. But the Lord has warned us to be severed. That doesn't mean living somewhere else. That doesn't mean acting disrespectfully towards anyone else. It means doing what the Lord says, following in our community, our culture, and our society to benefit us, not to benefit them. Our business moves benefit every other race of people but us.
Right.
This is what the Lord is talking about. All right, any more for 26?
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
And you should be mine.
Mm-hmm. The only way that we can fully be a part of the Most High, a part of God, is to do what He says.
Right.
And we're not doing that. We're defiling ourselves. Let's get that Jussie Smollett. Put that Jussie Smollett up there.
Come, sir.
And we don't know who the hell to love. We don't know who to love, man. We think everybody, we suffer from colorism that the colonizer gave us, the oppressor gave us. Anybody with dark skin is one of us. We claim the whole African continent, everybody in it, everybody from the Ottoman Islands, Hawaiian Islands, anybody with dark skin. That's absurd. It's absurd. Jussie Smollett is a white man. His father is a white Jewish man.
Right.
He used his homosexual lifestyle to garner sympathy in the black community. He used his color, his outward colored face, to garner sympathy as he lied about a fake hate crime. How disgusting, man. You as a white Jewish man who had all the advantages in life. Jussie Smollett was a rich and famous actor on Power. One of the #1 series on TV. Go, what you say, my thumb?
Empire.
Empire. What did I say?
Power.
Oh, empire. Salafi.
It's the same thing, ain't it?
No, I think power is something different. Power is,
basically they.
yeah, the same type of
Same type.
drug dealing, criminal type of
Right,
empire. You know, same type of stuff. But, you know, he's a famous cat, you know, making millions of dollars, but he wanted to bring sympathy. He wanted to use his homosexuality, which is a vile spirit, and get sympathy. Because as a homosexual, you know that you now have an advantage being a homosexual. You now have the advantage of victimization. The homosexual is the new black. Like, people act like there's no more racism. Racism is not happening. The new thing is what's being done to homosexuals. Well, who's the homosexual George Floyd?
Right.
When was homosexuals enslaved and lynched? I just read an article the other day that homeowners all across the Midwest and the South, right, Mathum?
Right.
They have started going to get white people to pose as them when they get an appraisal on their house. One couple in particular went and got an appraisal on their house. They came over and appraised it for $900,000, right? They got a white neighbor to pose as them, took down all their pictures in the house, put up white pictures, and it appraised for $1.5 million.
Yeah.
A $500,000, $500,000 difference. You tell me there's not white privilege when the difference between the same home is $500,000, $500,000. You know what could be done with that type of funding? I could have a business with that funding. Put my children through college with that funding. Just being white is a $500,000 boost in wealth. What you want me to do? I ain't lying. It's the truth. What you want me to do? My thumb. Let's
Read that.
All right, Jesse Smollett. You can read a little bit of that.
Justice Smollett, juror. Split decision was favor to actor after debate over final count. Let's see what he's saying. I just hope that Smollett and his attorneys, I just hope that Smollett and his attorneys know that we went in there with an open mind. The juror told the Sun-Times after the actor was found guilty of staging a hate crime. I listened to both sides. Let's see. The jury in Justice Smollett's trial felt they were doing him a favor when they convicted the former Empire actor on 5 counts of disorderly conduct, but not a 6th. One of the jurors told the Sun-Times Friday the decision was one the jury struggled with.
Hey, look, this guy went in there and outright lied. He outright lied. He was having a sexual relationship with one of the guys that he paid to attack him. He paid some Africans to attack him. One of which, I don't want to be disgusting. One of which he was having sexual relations with. The jurors didn't believe this nonsense. They knew he was lying. They knew he was trying to garner attention for himself and catapult his career. It wasn't enough for him to be a millionaire and famous. And that's not enough for him. He had to catapult himself and garner sympathy for his disgusting lifestyle, man.
Right.
And it backfired on him. He should receive the fullest extent of the law. He needs to go to prison where he can do his vile and disgusting lifestyle. Somewhere away from society where he can't go into the black community and lie and take with his filth and be a predator. He said he was riding around smoking weed, and so he promotes drug addiction. He keeps drug dealers in business with all the money he got. Send him to prison.
Right.
That is a crime against the black community, what he did. He used his so-called color, put a noose around his neck, as if somebody was doing this because he was black. And this degrades the pain of what black people are going through when we're attacked and lynched and murdered by either police or ordinary white folks in the street.
Right.
Where we at? All right, we can drop that Smollett and we can go to Romans. What time is it?
8:25.
Almost 8:30. Dang. Well, let's get Romans real quick. Romans 1 and 24.
Come on. You can drop this article, right?
Yeah, we can drop that. Matter of fact, can you get me some more drink?
Come on, sir.
In a bed. Yeah, first we get that when we come back. Salakia fam, Salakia. We can get that when he come back. But look, we're gonna get Romans 1 and 24 in a second. But check this out. What we've gone through is very telling, it's very stoic, it's very final. The Lord has said on several occasions, and he's gone in depth to what he wants as far as our sexual relations with other people. He's the only one that has the manual because he created us. And what's right and what's wrong should be mitigated by this manual book, by this manual. All right? And what we don't do, we don't take it seriously. They don't want you to take the Bible seriously. They want you to take it as a filthy religion. It is not a religion. The Bible has never been a religion. It is not Christianity. Christians are liars. They say that they follow the Bible, but they do not. They don't follow the New Testament or the Old Testament. Or they would not be gay in the church playing the organ or playing the drums or being the usher. They would not be molesting little boys or having sex with other brothers' wives. They wouldn't be doing that. This is against the Bible. Good night. What, you trying to kill me? Give me here, I'm good. I'm good. Wow. Wow. let's get that.
You know I ain't great, so I'll go out like that.
Let's get that scripture.
Romans.
Get that scripture. We in Romans 1 and 24. Good night. You try to kill me. You want me really in the spirit in this moment.
You know I ain't a drinker, sir.
Water, priest. I know you don't drink, but God. I'll be alright though. I'll be alright. Alright, where we at, priest?
Romans chapter 1, verse 24.
Get it on.
Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts.
Read on, they know what that means.
To dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Now, look, the Lord already said the giver and the receiver is worthy of death. Right? He sent priests to tell you to stop. Stop these vile, abominable things, but you won't listen. You won't listen. You continue to defile yourselves, to defile the land. Read it again. Start from the beginning.
Romans chapter 1, verse 24.
Go ahead.
Wherefore God also gave them up to
To what?
To uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts.
Wow. Read.
To dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
He gave you up to allow you to dishonor your own bodies when he knows it's ultimately worthy of death. That's crazy for a parent to say, God damn, you so gone and you so broken and twisted, I give up on you. I'm going to turn my back. I'm going to turn my back and allow you to go so deep into your filth that it becomes a Baltimore City. It becomes a Baltimore City.
Right.
Where we just hate each other, man. We just hate each other, man. It's so defiled. This city is so sick. So sick and so broken. You can't even drive in the morning without controversy and conflict.
Right.
It's conflict everywhere and everything. It's death everywhere. Because we won't listen. Read it from the beginning. Salakia. Read it from the beginning.
Romans chapter 1, verse 24.
Go ahead.
Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Read on.
Verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
Wow.
For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Read on.
And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another. Men with men, working that which is unseemly.
That which is unseemly. Men with men, women with women, vile affection, gave them up. That is a bad position to be in. When your father gives you up to to something so vile, something that he perceives as so vile that it's deserving of death. But we have not the love for God, and we have not the love for ourselves to see how vile and disgusting these acts that we perform, how it actually affects the Most High, and how it actually affects our communities, because we don't care about one another. So we've fallen so deep into degradation, man. It's not even funny. The city is sick. It is sick, conflicted, twisted, and destroyed. It makes no goddamn sense. Look, black people are the majority in Baltimore. Yet you have a Holocaust museum that the city spent over $8 million on. But there's black squeegee kids in the street. We so caught up in our own sexual deviancy and destroying ourselves that we can't look up and long enough to take a breath to see what the hell these nations are doing to us. Give me a time check.
8:34.
We going.
Romans chapter 1, verse 27.
Go ahead.
And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another. Men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error which was meet.
Receiving in themselves the recompense. At the end of the day, when you too old to get an erection, who you gonna live with? The man you been screwing?
Right.
There's a recompense coming, black man. There's a recompense. There is no relationship. There is no happiness. What, the man that died of HIV that you killed? You holding on to his memory? You got his ashes, his heirlooms? Huh?
Right.
Huh? What, two old men dancing on the dance floor? Dancing a whoop dead? Huh? Your boyfriend? Salaki. I'm gonna close the class on, man. If there's no questions or nothing, man, I'm gonna go ahead and close the class, man, bro. You got anything online?
Nah, sir.
You good? All right. I'm gonna let you go ahead and close this without look. And again, we are not trying to disrespect any community, trying to say anything about any group. Let me get this out there and get this straight. We do not support homosexuality in any way, but we are not trying to bash any group of people, do any violence against any group of people. We're reading the Bible and saying this is what God wants. We believe that the Bible is inspired by God, and it is.
Right.
We believe that the prophets and the men of God know what's best for the black community. And with that, we the Israelite School of Universal Practice. Now we got a 1 West 120 feet up there. out of New York, 1969. Been under commanding General Yohana teaching his truth, man. And I'm going to bring up my thumb to close us out. Clap it up. Sir, this your book.
John, you leave it.
Okay, security announcements. We are the Isupk out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. It means 10th in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashera. 10th of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or priest or the teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give, up and coming holy convocation. We have the Passover coming up April the 15th. You understand, get your funds ready, get your flights ready, get ready to book your hotel, save up that money, get it together, get them garments ready, all the stuff that you need to be beautiful, everything we need to be fly as brothers, need to get it together. Remind Akim and Aquatium to check on social media, such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahaba Shim Yahaba Shabbat, Yahaba Shim Yahaba Shabbat, Yahya Matah, class dismissed.